Despite the growing potential of Africa's digital economy, fragmented payment systems, limited cross-border trade integration, and regulatory gaps have continued to hinder the continent's investment flow. To address these concerns and explore sustainable solutions, key stakeholders across regulatory bodies, financial institutions, and technology sectors met at the 2025 Regtech Africa Conference and Awards. The two-day session themed Unlocking Africa's Cross-Border Payments, Trade and Investment Opportunities through Public-Private Partnerships featured high-level discussions, exhibitions, and networking opportunities. Panelists examined ways to bridge regulatory divides, improve compliance frameworks, and strengthen collaboration between government and private innovators in driving financial inclusion and regional growth. Convener Cyril Okoroigwe and other experts emphasized the need for trusted data systems, smart regulation, and digital resilience to power Africa's cross-border potential.
In the digital space, trust is key. Without trust, you cannot do much. So that is basically what what all of this is for. It's a big thing we're discussing here today, and it's so big that if we get it right as a continent, not just even as a country, as a continent, it's one single thing that can even drive, the GDP growth of the entire continent. And that's why government has to look in this direction and, show a lot more interest in making sure that, cross-border transactions, the ease of doing business and all of that is enhanced in no small measure.
And that's certainly Ireland's perspective. We look forward to company, private sector collaboration. We look forward to public sector collaboration. There's a lot of lessons to learn from other countries, including Ireland, who maybe are a little bit further along on the same journey, but there's a very similar mandate. This is very much a people-focused exercise, and the prize is great because if we are able to bring technological services to the bulk of our population, we're certainly doing ourselves a favour for the future.
Everything that has happened here today has been awesome. We've had insights into the challenges which everyone talks about, but most especially we also had the solutions that can be implemented to ensure that we're not just hammering on the challenges we all face, but rather we're also preferring solutions that, if properly implemented, will go a long way in bridging the gap that we're all experiencing.
I know when government calls you to action. I know when they call you for a stakeholders engagement before they incorporate it into the law or into the policies. So you have looked at the law, you've looked at the policies, like we have the tax law, tax policy coming up soon. You're looking at the nitty-gritty of it. You're seeing the digital economy. You're seeing that it's going to affect the fintech company, and you're looking at it and studying it so that it will not hamper on the progress of your business. So in that way, government is seeing you as a stakeholder. They call you to the round table. They discuss these matters with you.
Other stakeholders also gave their remarks, highlighting the importance of the session.
So for us, as a representative of the government, for example, what we are doing here, first of all, to look inward, to talk to people, to tell us what are the bottlenecks. We've had some series of engagements, so that we can provide enabling environment. The government role is to provide enabling environment, in terms of policies and programs and initiatives, high impact and scale.
This is an opportunity for all the stakeholders to really come together to tell us what the problem is, what the actions are being taken, because part of the problem that we have is that sometimes one person is doing something, the other person is not available. My colleague was here and he was saying a lot of the stuff that they are doing in a particular office, and some of it I'm aware of, some I'm not aware of, and we try to communicate as much as possible. So it's important that we have events like this, government funded, individual funded, where we have everybody sitting down and discussing about all that is being done.
We work with regulators like Central Bank, Security and Exchange Commission, and National Insurance Commission and other regulators to define how technology will be used to regulate compliance with anti-money laundering, anti-proliferation of financing, and anti-counter-terrorism financing.
The event also featured the award session, Regtech Horizon and Rockstar Awards, honoring players driving innovation in Africa's regulatory and digital finance sectors. Access 24 News correspondent Slim Olaniro reports that experts are calling for stronger public-private partnerships to unlock the full potential of Africa's digital trade landscape.